Hello and welcome to the European exploits of the Swindon town Swoodly Poopers. Today I'm going to talk about my relationship with you, the viewer, and generally the relationship between YouTubers and their communities, the community of viewers, and how viewers are creators and creators are viewers, etc. But first, a quick update. Look, we have a gray-haired referee from France, so let's just hope that works out well. He's handsome, bit odd-looking, but I like him. I have a lot of hope in you, Luke Dackery. I took 3 years of high school French. Today, we are starting in the back. Mark Anderson, the Netscape inventor and Swindon goalkeeper, and we've got John Green and John Green up front. Our central midfield is anchored by Leroy Williamson. All right, so I saw an interesting tweet from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the actor. Did I say his name right? I think I did. Meredith, did I say his name? Yes, I did. Good. Whew. About the game first, before we get to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The standard Swoodly Pooper 0-0 draw would take us through to the next round of the EuroLeague because we just played this team at their house and we scored the vital away goal, which means that if they don't score an away goal and we draw, we're fine. If they do score an away goal, we're potentially in trouble. That is not a foul. That's an ankle hug. So I saw an interesting tweet from Joseph Gordon-Levitt where he was tweeting about minute physics, which is, for those of you who don't know, this amazing channel full of animations made by, really guys, that was your big plan? Made by Henry Reich, who used to work for, got to start working for Freddie W., but also has a master's degree in physics and is a fascinating individual who makes these brilliant videos about physics that makes physics accessible to people like me. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt tweeted, for those, he tweeted a minute physics video, and then he tweeted, don't just watch that video, you should check out their whole channel. They do great work. And then linked to minute physics. And it occurred to me that, to watch minute physics, great save. Huge save there. And then Santa Claus gets back just in time. Okay. I'd like to congratulate that guy, not just on inventing Netscape, but on some fantastic goalkeeping. That was, why would you head it in that direction? I would have headed it maybe out of the box instead of toward your goal. But maybe I have a different strategy than you. So, it occurred to me that he, of course he didn't know that minute physics was essentially one person, and as one wouldn't from looking at his work, and that anyone in Hollywood would assume that things like this were made by a team, even though it's got to be, oh, what a save. What a save. Bald John Green, known for his beautiful bald head and his skills with it. Oh, God, he's so good at heading, but, oh, it's frustrating. All right. So, let's see if we can get a goal here. Ball, John Green. Leroy Williamson? No. All right, S. Holden Goldfield. S. Holden Goldfield. He's got a great cross. That's not the one. So, but no one in Hollywood would ever think that something as interesting and difficult and complicated as minute physics could be made. S. Holden Goldfield! It is! It is! It is! Oh! I don't even know what to sing. Go do something. Oh, are you going to? Oh, boy. Yes. Sure. Yes. Oh, he scores when he wants. He scores when he wants. As Holden Goldfield. He scores when he wants. Oh, that's exciting. That was just a great, that's an old school Swindon Town goal where we steal the ball and then we put it in the back of the net. Oh, boy. Whew, good save. All right, so the relationship that Hollywood expects you to have is a relationship with a team where you're like, this team of people does great work. And there are increasingly on YouTube lots of things that are made by teams, like the Lizzie Bennett Diaries or Crash Course or SciShow. But at its core, for me, there is still the assumption not when I'm going to link to a channel, I don't say they do great work. I say she does great work. There is still the assumption in my mind that YouTube channels are created by people. Real, regular people, not large companies. And indeed, still to this day, my favorite YouTube channels are created by people. Like My Music, for instance, is a show, but it's a show created by the Fine Brothers. And you know, they're people, and you can learn about them on YouTube, and you can get to know them, and you can have a relationship with them as people that's very, very different from the relationship that I have with, for instance, even though he's even though he's you know, a very involved, internet savvy person. It's very different from the relationship I have with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like the way I think about minute physics or Philip DeFranco is very different from the way I think about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And that's not to say that one way is better than the other. It's just to say that like there are different ways of being part of something. And the nature of the fan experience is different. And I would argue that like the central thing that makes the fan experience or the experience of being a viewer, a community member, so much more interesting, it has to be, and it is, from Leroy Williamson to Other John Green. Oh, yes, he's big, he's tough, he has a brilliant puff. Other John Green. Oh, look at that. You know, he gave a little Luis Suarez push in the back to give him some space. I love that. It's beautiful. And all of a sudden we're up 2-0, which means we can actually give up an away goal and still move on to the round of 16 here in the EuroLeague. Of course, our goal this season is to win all of the trophies, so we're going to continue to want to do that. Oh, ball, John Green couldn't get back far enough. And I think a big reason for that is that on YouTube, still a lot of viewers are creators, and almost all creators are viewers. So, like, I don't think of Amy Poehler watching the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers, but there's a pretty good chance, even though Amy Poehler has a YouTube channel that's very good, and it's really like, it's very well made, and I really enjoy the content on it, and I'm subscribed, and I like it, and I watch it. But I don't ever think Amy Poehler might be watching the Swoodly Poopers, whereas I know for a fact that Philip DeFranco might be watching the Swoodly Poopers, you know, or Rosianna Halse might be watching the Swoodly Poopers, or What the Buck might be watching the Swoodly Poopers, because I know that I've talked to them about these projects in the past, and even though they maybe don't watch everything religiously, I know I don't. They are involved members of the community, and they're both creators and viewers. And that's also true of people who don't have 1 million subscribers. More than half of the channels that Hank and I subscribe to have fewer than 1,000 subscribers, and we watch a lot of that content. We certainly don't watch all of it. We do watch a lot of it, and I think that that's always been part of YouTube, is that there is not a bright line between the people who make stuff and the audience for that stuff, because the people who are watching me are in many cases the people I am also watching. Now, certainly when you get up to the stratospheric numbers that we have, at least for the moment, found ourselves at, where, you know, the relationships are just vastly different, like the numbers of people watching you are so vastly different from the number of things that you could possibly watch in a day, then that changes a little. But I still watch YouTube. Don't give me a yellow card for being good looking. I refuse it. Gray-headed Frenchman. Merrick would never. There is nothing malicious in that foul. That was a handsome, attractive, stout, bald foul. And I believe ultimately that the French referee is jealous of Merrick's beautiful, silent, bald head of hair. All right. So that relationship is really is to me what makes YouTube so special. That there isn't a built-in difference between creator and viewer, and that those relationships are very fluid. Like, to give you an example, I've been watching Tyler Oakley on YouTube for 6 years, or at least 5 years, and Tyler has always made great YouTube videos, but only lately has he become really popular. Like, his channel has really grown leaps and bounds in the last year, and that's amazing to see. And it's much more exciting for me, because I know that Tyler has long watched us and still watches us, and I know that, you know, like, he is part of the Nerdfighter community, and you just can't have that. Is it 3? No, somehow it just hit the post and then it didn't go in the net. Usually in that situation I would be celebrating right now. I would be singing. I prefer singing to hitting the post, but it's because that, like, there's this long-standing relationship that you just can't have with creators on, television, because they're always playing different characters, and even there's a level of constructedness to even non-fictional narratives on television that you just don't have on YouTube. And so I think that's really important, and then I think the relationship is just fundamentally different when we're both creators. One of us may be a creator with a large audience, one of us may be a creator with a small audience, but you also have iMovie, or you've also uploaded a YouTube video. You know the process that I went through to upload this. What it's like to forget to private a video, or what it's like to leave a comment or to hit thumbs up. And I don't think that people have those same relationships, or companies don't have those same relationships with a viewing experience. And there's no way that they can recreate it. There's no way that they can know what it's like to be a participant in a community. And to me, that's what makes particularly the community of Nerdfighteria, but lots of communities on YouTube, so interesting, is that it can never be mimicked. It can never be mimicked except by real human beings. Like, it has to be lived by actual people, and that's really cool to me. So, and I also think that Hank and I used to worry all the time that someone was going to come and make Nerdfighteria, that they would just make a better, more well-run, because God knows we have not always done a good job of running this community, that someone would come in with resources and budgets and staff and everything and run Nerdfighteria, and we would be left, this community that we'd loved would sort of leave us for brighter pastures. Oh, it is. Oh, other John Green. He's what is that? I love it. He went into a lotus, I think. He is a Zen master. I've heard, by the way, that other John Green has gotten into yoga lately, in an attempt to improve his skills, which it's something I really admire about him. But yeah, so we used to. I remember worrying about that with Hank, that Discovery or Disney Channel or something was going to well, so it goes. Does it feel good? Does it feel good to score that totally worthless, useless goal that matters nothing? How does it feel? Oh, you must feel so excited. Scoreboard, sir. Scoreboard. But now I don't worry about that, because I realize that there is no, the relationship that we have is specific to us as individuals and to you as individuals. And that's really exciting. So thank you. Our opponents are smelling their pits in shame. That's my favorite kind of pit smelling. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.